Hey there, you ready for a wild ride through the multiverse?
That's exactly what we're about to do. Buckle up, because we're diving deep into a unique ranking system for parallel universes.
Yeah, imagine like a cosmic catalog, right?
Oh,
Organizing realities from the believable to the utterly bizarre.
it's like a cheat sheet for navigating the infinite possibilities. And what's fascinating here is that it really pushes us to question what we consider real in the first place.
Right. So instead of just saying parallel universes are cool, this system actually gives us a framework to think about how different those universes could be. And it's not just about the what ifs, but also about the what if those ifs became reality, if that makes sense.
It absolutely does. And I think that's what makes this topic so compelling. It's not just science fiction, it's science fiction that might actually be based on something real, which is mind-blowing.
Totally. So where do we even start?
We're starting with C tier. That's
Yeah.
the near reality universe tier. Imagine universes that are just a little bit different, but you wouldn't be completely shocked if you stumbled upon them.
Yeah, C tier is the most grounded. It's about subtle variations that lead to different outcomes. Think about a universe where Rome never fell. What would that world be like?
Yeah, it's like looking at a timeline and just shifting a few events. It's a really good way to visualize the butterfly effect, isn't it? How one tiny change can lead to completely different results. And that's why I think this is so important for everyone. Gets you thinking about how much your own life has been shaped by seemingly small decisions.
It's funny to think about, what if you hadn't ordered that pizza last night? What if you had chosen a different job? These are the kinds of things that are swirling in C tier, and they feel surprisingly relevant, even though they're not actually our reality.
Exactly. And another interesting aspect of C tier is alternate timelines. This isn't about a slight shift in history. It's about, you specifically imagine a universe where you took that career risk or made a different relationship choice. What if you'd gone to that party? What would your life look like now? It's almost terrifying to think about, but it's also incredibly fascinating.
Totally. I love how these universes are a little more personal. It's like looking into a mirror, but seeing someone who made a different choice.
Right. And I think that's the beauty of this ranking system. It challenges us to think about not just the cosmic possibilities, but also the possibilities of our own lives.
Okay, so C tier is like looking at a world that could be right next door, just a little bit different. Now let's start heading into some of the more out there stuff. We're moving on to B tier.
B tier is where things get theoretical but still grounded in science. We're talking about universes that could be real, but they haven't been proven.
Here's where it gets really interesting.
We're talking about multiverse by quantum mechanics. This is based on the idea that every time a quantum decision is made, it creates a new universe. So then, in a sense, we're constantly splitting off new realities.
I'm just imagining a choose your own adventure book, but instead of just the story changing, it's the entire universe. We could be creating new realities just by having this conversation.
And that's not all. We also have simulation theory universes in B tier. This gets a bit more philosophical, but what if our entire reality is a computer simulation? We're just programs running on some advanced computer.
Talk about glitch in the Matrix vibes. It's scary to think about who are the programmers and what if they decide to shut everything down.
It's like the ultimate question.
Yeah.
Are we real, or are we just a product of a programmer's code? And what if there are even deeper levels of simulations beyond our own? It's almost impossible to wrap your head around.
And that's just the beginning of B tier. Things are about to get even more abstract as we move into the next tier.
Yes, and I think that's what makes this ranking system so powerful. It's not just about listing off different types of universes. It's about using a framework to understand how these universes could interact and what that means for our own perception of reality.
So get ready to really stretch your imagination, because next we're heading into A tier, the sci-fi inspired universes.
That's where things get really fun. Think about universes that have inspired science fiction for generations.
Yep. All right, we're strapping on our jetpacks and blasting off into A tier sci-fi inspired universes. This is where things get really imaginative, but there's still a thread of scientific possibility, woven through it all.
Exactly. We're taking those what ifs a step further, exploring concepts that might seem like pure fantasy, but often have roots in real scientific principles.
First up, we've got technologically advanced alien universes. Think about civilizations millennia ahead of us harnessing the power of black holes, or maybe even bending space-time to their will.
It really makes you question what's possible, doesn't it? We tend to think of ourselves as the pinnacle of intelligence, but what if we're just starting out compared to what's out there?
Right. Our most advanced technology could be like cave drawings to these guys.
Precisely. And imagine the implications. What if some of the unexplained phenomena we observe, things like strange radio signals or unidentified objects in the sky, are actually glimpses into these advanced universes?
Okay, now that's both exciting and a little creepy. I mean, what if they're watching us right now?
It's a thought-provoking possibility, isn't it?
Yeah.
It challenges us to consider that we might not be alone in the universe, and that some forms of life could be so advanced that they exist beyond our current comprehension.
Definitely makes you feel small, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, speaking of things that make us feel small, let's talk about faster-than-light universes. This is where we really start bending the laws of physics as we know them.
Imagine a universe where the speed of light isn't the ultimate speed limit. What if there are particles or even entire civilizations that have figured out how to travel faster than light?
That's the stuff of science fiction, but it's so cool to think about. We could explore the galaxy, visit other star systems, and maybe even encounter those advanced alien civilizations we were just talking about.
The implications for space exploration would be astronomical.
Yeah.
Quite literally. We could reach distant galaxies in the blink of an eye, potentially unlocking secrets of the universe that we can't even begin to imagine.
I love how even though we're talking about hypothetical universes, there's always that thread of what if this could be real? It's like peeking behind the curtain of reality.
It's the ultimate form of exploration, pushing the boundaries of what we believe is possible. And as we move into the next tier, those boundaries are going to get even blurrier.
Hold on tight, everyone, because we're about to enter some seriously strange territory. Get ready for S tier, universes with modified physical laws.
This is where we start to really challenge the fundamental forces that govern our reality. Imagine universes where gravity works differently, or where the very elements that make up our world are completely foreign.
First up, we have altered gravity universes. What if gravity was stronger, weaker? What if it worked in completely different ways than we're used to?
It's a fascinating thought experiment. In a high gravity universe, life would likely be very different creatures. Might be incredibly dense and compact, able to withstand the intense gravitational forces. We might see planets much smaller than our own, with incredibly strong gravitational pulls.
It's wild to imagine. And on the flip side, in a low gravity universe, we might see towering, spindly creatures that can leap incredible distances.
Yeah.
It would be like something out of a fantasy novel.
And don't forget about the planets themselves. With weaker gravity, planets might not be able to hold on to their atmospheres as effectively, potentially leading to very different atmospheric compositions.
Okay, that's a really cool point. We're not just talking about life adapting to different gravity. We're talking about entire planets being shaped by it.
Exactly. And speaking of things being shaped differently, let's move on to universes with different elements. What if the periodic table looked completely different? What if carbon, the building block of life as we know it, wasn't even a thing in these universes?
That's where things get really weird. I mean, what would life even look like without carbon? Would it even be possible?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Scientists have speculated about the possibility of silicon-based life, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Silicon sits right below carbon on the periodic table, so it shares some similar properties.
So instead of breathing oxygen, these silicon-based life forms might breathe what chlorine gas?
Well, it's possible to say for sure, but it's certainly a possibility. They might thrive in environments that would be incredibly hostile to us, like extremely hot or acidic conditions.
Yeah. It's like looking at an alien world right out of Star Trek, with creatures that look and behave in ways we can barely comprehend.
And speaking of things that are hard to comprehend, let's talk about string theory universes. This is where we start diving into the deep end of theoretical physics.
Okay, hit me with your best shot. What is string theory, and what does it have to do with parallel universes?
In the simplest terms, string theory suggests that the fundamental building blocks of the universe aren't particles, but tiny vibrating strings of energy. And here's where it gets really mind-bending. These strings vibrate in different dimensions, most of which we can't even perceive.
So you're saying there could be entire dimensions hidden within our own universe, and we just don't have the senses to detect them.
Exactly. And those hidden dimensions could potentially hold other universes just like ours, but vibrating at a different frequency. It's like having an entire symphony playing around us, but we can only hear a few notes.
Whoa, okay, my brain is officially starting to hurt, but in a good way.
And we're just getting started. Buckle up, because S tier is where things go from mind-bending to reality-shattering. get ready for universes with mystical and supernatural elements.
All right, I've got my metaphysical helmet strapped on, ready to dive into the unknown. We're talking S-tier universes with mystical and supernatural elements. This is where logic takes a back seat and things get seriously magical.
This tier explores realms where our traditional understanding of science and reason might not apply. Imagine universes governed by forces we can barely comprehend, where the impossible becomes possible.
First up, we've got magical universes. This is where we encounter sorcerers wielding elemental magic, mythical creatures roaming fantastical landscapes, and ancient prophecies shaping the destinies of entire civilizations.
Imagine a universe where the laws of physics are intertwined with magic, where the power of the mind can influence the physical world, and where the very fabric of reality is imbued with enchantment. It challenges us to consider the possibilities beyond what we consider scientifically plausible.
So instead of Intamiro, we've got abracadabra changing the laws of physics. I can get behind that.
In a way, yes. It's a realm where intuition and belief might hold as much power as logic and reason.
Okay, I'm ready to trade my telescope for a crystal ball. But speaking of bending reality, we also have universes governed by consciousness. This is where things get really meta.
This concept proposes that consciousness itself could be a fundamental force shaping reality. Imagine a universe where thoughts directly influence the physical world, where our beliefs and desires manifest into being. It's a truly mind-boggling concept.
So you're saying that in these universes, positive thinking isn't just helpful, it's practically a superpower.
It's a bit more complex than that, but the core idea is that consciousness plays an active role in shaping reality, rather than simply observing it.
Wow, that makes our own universe seem pretty tame in comparison. Okay, next up, we're entering a realm where time itself becomes fluid, time-bending universes.
These universes challenge our linear perception of time. Imagine realities where time travel is possible, where the past, present, and future are interwoven, or where time loops back on itself, creating endless cycles of creation and destruction.
Time travel always makes my head spin if we could change the past. Wouldn't that create paradoxes? What if you accidentally prevented yourself from being born?
Those are some of the mind-bending questions that arise when we consider the possibility of time travel. It challenges our very understanding of cause and effect, of free will, and of the nature of reality itself.
It's enough to make you question everything.
Yeah.
Okay, we've stretched our minds pretty far with S tier. Are you ready to venture into truly uncharted territory?
I believe so, but be warned, from here on out, things are going to get very strange very quickly.
Fasten your seatbelts, everyone, because we're about to enter a broken tier. Universes beyond physical and logical comprehension.
This tier represents a complete departure from our understanding of the universe.
Yeah.
It's where the very laws of physics break down and logic itself becomes irrelevant.
First up, we've got non-Euclidean universes. And honestly, I'm not even sure where to begin with this one. What can you tell us about spaces that defy basic geometry?
Imagine a universe where parallel lines intersect, where you could walk in a straight line and end up back where you started, or where the shortest distance between 2 points is not a straight line, but a curve. It's a realm where our intuitive understanding of space and distance completely breaks down.
It's like walking into an M.C. Escher painting, but on a cosmic scale. I can barely visualize it.
That's understandable. It's a concept that challenges our very perception of reality.
Okay, if non-Euclidean universes messed with my sense of space, then universes without time are about to obliterate my sense of, well, everything. How can a universe exist without time?
It's one of the most challenging concepts to grasp, because our entire experience of reality is so deeply intertwined with the flow of time. But imagine a universe where there is no past, present, or future, only an eternal, unchanging now.
It's like trying to imagine a color I've never seen before. My brain just can't process it.
That's because our brains are wired to perceive reality in a linear, temporal way. But in a universe without time, every moment might exist simultaneously.
Okay, deep breaths. This is getting heavy, but you know what? Let's keep going. Hit me with the next one.
So prepare yourself for 4D and 5D beings.
Okay, we've talked about extra dimensions before, but this is different, right? We're not just talking about alternate realities tucked away in hidden dimensions. We're talking about beings that inhabit those dimensions.
Exactly. Imagine beings that exist in dimensions beyond our comprehension, able to perceive and interact with our universe in ways we can't even fathom they could be all around us, but we'd be completely oblivious to their presence.
So it's like that old flatland analogy, right? Where like the 2D square is completely unaware of the 3D sphere passing through our world, except in this case, it's not just a sphere, it's whatever exists in the fourth fifth or even higher dimensions.
Precise. And if those beings wanted to interact with our universe, it would be like us reaching down and moving a piece of paper on a flat surface. We would have almost godlike power over their reality.
It's both awe-inspiring and a little terrifying to think that we could be completely at the mercy of beings we can't even perceive.
It certainly puts our own existence into perspective.
Right, we've reached the peak of the mountain, the edge of the map, the ultimate mind bender. Let's take a deep breath and dive into the final frontier. Beyond Broken Tier. Universes beyond all logic and perception.
This tier represents the absolute limit of our ability to comprehend. These universes are so foreign, so far removed from our own, that they exist beyond language, beyond thought, beyond even the most abstract concepts we can imagine.
Okay, let's do that. What's the first mind melter in Beyond Broken Tier?
Prepare yourself for mathematically incoherent universes.
Mathematically incoherent? What does that even mean? Isn't math supposed to be the universal language?
In our universe, yes. But imagine a universe where the fundamental laws of mathematics are different or even non-existent, where 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4, where pi is a whole number, where the very concept of numbers breaks down.
So it's not just that our math wouldn't work in these universes, it's that math itself wouldn't work.
Exactly. It's a concept that's almost impossible to wrap your head around because it challenges the very foundations of logic and reason.
It's like trying to read a book written in a language that doesn't exist.
A good analogy.
Yeah.
And if you thought that was strange, prepare yourself for existence, non-existence paradox universes.
Right, you've officially piqued my curiosity. What could possibly be more mind-boggling than a universe where math doesn't exist?
Imagine a universe that exists in a constant state of quantum superposition, both existing and not existing simultaneously. It's a realm where the very concept of being and non-being is blurred beyond recognition.
Okay, that one officially broke my brain. I'm going to need a minute to process this.
I understand it's a concept that pushes the boundaries of human comprehension.
Okay, I'm back from my brief existential crisis. What's next?
We're moving into the realm of universes governed by cosmic entities.
Okay, we're talking about godlike beings now, right? Beings of unimaginable power who shape reality according to their will.
Exactly. Imagine universes where the laws of physics are merely suggestions subject to the whims of these cosmic entities. Their thoughts could create and destroy galaxies. Their dreams could rewrite the fabric of space-time.
It's both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Imagine being at the mercy of a being with that much power.
It certainly puts our own existence into perspective.
Okay, final stop on our cosmic road trip. What's the last stop on Beyond Broken Tier?
We've reached the ultimate destination, beyond the end of the universe.
Beyond the end, so we're not even talking about universes anymore. What lies beyond the boundaries of our universe, beyond even the concept of existence itself?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it? And it's one that we may never be able to answer, but the very act of asking it, of contemplating the infinite unknown, is a testament to the boundless curiosity of the human mind.
Wow, that's a pretty profound thought to end on. I don't know about you, but I need a moment to process everything we've just discussed.
As do I. It's been an incredible journey through the vast and often bewildering landscape of the multiverse.
It certainly has. We've gone from universes that are almost familiar to realities that defy description.
And what's amazing is that this is just a glimpse into the infinite possibilities that might exist beyond our perception.
It really makes you realize how much we don't know. So before we wrap things up, I'm curious, what was your favorite tier?
That's a difficult question. Each tier offers its own unique perspective and challenges our understanding in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I'm particularly drawn to the universes that explore the nature of consciousness and its role in shaping reality. What about you?
Honestly, they're all fascinating, but I think I'm most drawn to the sci-fi inspired universes in A tier. Those feel the most tangible, like something we can almost reach out and touch. And I've always loved a good space opera.
I can understand that there's a certain sense of wonder and adventure associated with those universes.
Yeah, exactly. But on that note, I think we've given our listeners plenty to ponder today. What do you say we leave them with one final thought?
I think that's a great idea.
If you could design your own universe, what would it look like? What would be the laws of physics, the nature of reality, the possibilities for life and consciousness? Let your imagination run wild and let us know what incredible universes you come up with. Until next time, keep exploring the infinite possibilities.